The Battle of Kadesh, involving the Egyptian and Hittite armies, was possibly the reason for the first international peace treaty signed between two opposing nations. As the battlefield prepared to become the stage for one of the greatest confrontations in ancient history, the Battle of Kadesh, an epic clash between the Egyptians, led by Pharaoh Ramses II, and the Hittites, commanded by King Muwatalli II, was not just a military struggle, it was a battle for control of rich lands and a fight for survival. What transpired that day was crucial for the history of the Egyptian army, filled with strategies, betrayals, and heroism. To understand the Battle of Kadesh, we must first explore the historical context surrounding it. During Ramses II's reign, Egypt was on the rise. Known as Ramses the Great, he not only sought to expand Egypt's borders, but also to leave a legacy that would endure for generations. The prosperity of Egypt was evident, but a growing shadow loomed: the Hittite Empire. The Hittites, spanning Anatolia and Syria, were known for their military skills and strategic alliances. Muwatalli II, the Hittite king, saw the opportunity to consolidate his power and expand his dominion towards Egypt. Kadesh, a city located on the banks of the Orontes River, became the center of this confrontation, controlling vital trade routes. As tensions escalated, Ramses II gathered his troops. Men clad in shining armor and wielding sharp spears prepared for battle. The camp was filled with energy, and the atmosphere of anticipation was palpable. Ramses, in a fiery speech, stirred his men. "Today, we fight not just for ourselves, but for the greatness of Egypt." Meanwhile, on the other side, Muwatalli II was also preparing. The cunning and strategic king knew he would need to use surprise to his advantage. He organized his troops and devised a plan of attack that involved surrounding the Egyptian forces. While the Egyptians were confident in their numbers, Muwatalli had a trump card: knowledge of the terrain and alliances with local tribes. When the sun rose, the sky filled with the sounds of drums and neighing horses. The battle began with a roar, and the troops surged toward one another. The battlefield became a sea of chaos. Ramses II fought alongside his men, his bravery and determination resonating among the Egyptian troops. He was a symbol of strength, and his presence inspired courage. However, what Ramses did not know was that the Hittites were ready for the ambush. As the Egyptian forces advanced, Hittite guerrillas hiding in the surrounding hills attacked unexpectedly. The situation quickly became desperate, and the Egyptian soldiers, initially confident, began to retreat. Panic spread among the Egyptian ranks. The battle reached its climax in an intense confrontation between Ramses II and a Hittite commander. The duel was fierce and filled with emotion, each blow symbolizing the determination of their peoples. As they fought, the battlefield became a testament to the bravery and will to win of both sides. However, the Hittite forces were gaining the upper hand. Pressure mounted, and disorder began to spread among the Egyptians. Ramses' heart raced as he heard the cry of an injured ally, and he knew he needed to act quickly to turn the tide of the battle. The lives of his men and the future of Egypt were in his hands. When all seemed lost, a breath of hope emerged. The Egyptian allies, positioned in strategic locations, began to advance to help. This new wave of courage and determination started to turn the tide of the battle. The Egyptian troops, revitalized by hope, united to face the Hittites with renewed strength. Ramses II, sensing the change in the atmosphere, called for battle, urging his men to unite. He rose in his chariot, his majestic figure shining under the sun, and led the charge. With war cries echoing across the field, the Egyptians surged forward, fighting side by side with their allies, transforming what was once a scene of despair into a new wave of courage and bravery. After hours of fierce combat, the battle began to reach its conclusion. The Hittite troops, facing the determination of the Egyptians and their allies, were finally forced to retreat. Although the Egyptian victory was proclaimed, it came at a high cost. Both sides suffered heavy losses, and the battlefield was covered with the memories of the sacrifice of brave men. Upon returning to Egypt, Ramses II knew he needed to turn this bitter victory into a symbol of strength. He organized grand celebrations and ensured his conquest was recorded in temples and hieroglyphs. But behind the pomp and circumstance was a deeper understanding. The battle had exposed weaknesses in the Egyptian army and revealed the complexities of war. The Battle of Kadesh did not bring the expected peace. Instead, it unleashed a period of uncertainty. Both Ramses II and Muwatalli II realized that after such a devastating confrontation, diplomacy was becoming essential. The desire to avoid future conflicts led to the creation of one of the first known peace treaties in history, a landmark that showed diplomacy could be as effective as war. The peace treaty between Egypt and the Hittites not only brought a period of stability, but also became an example of how empires could coexist. The battle left an indelible mark on the culture and collective memory of both peoples, transforming into stories of bravery and strategy, of victories and losses that would be passed down through generations. The Battle of Kadesh was not merely a military confrontation, it was a struggle for identity, power, and the survival of two great civilizations. Through challenges and adversities, both Ramses II and Muwatalli II faced not only their enemies but also the complexities of human nature. As we reflect on the Battle of Kadesh, we are led to consider the lessons it teaches us about war and peace, about ambition and diplomacy. What does this battle reveal about the choices we make in times of conflict? Do you see yourself as a Ramses or a Muwatalli in your own daily battles? Comment below and share your thoughts. If you enjoyed this video, subscribe to our channel for more fascinating stories about ancient Egypt and share it with your friends. Until the next adventure.